Hello everybody, and welcome to the North American Star League Season number 2. My name is Andre Greator Preshow. I'm going to be your host today. We have a lot of fantastic matches coming your way. Let's go ahead and get right down to it. The matches that we have for today are going to be as follows. Vibe versus DeMuslim as our match number 1. Hero versus White Raw as match number 2. Match number 3 is going to be Lowly versus Cruncher. And match number 4 is going to be Phoenix versus Chef. Some really strong players going to be head-to-head today, but first let's look at the map pool. Emmett, the map pool will be Crevasse as our map number 1. Map number 2 is going to be Tal'Darim Altar. Of course, we're going to finish things up on Metalopolis, kind of the macro map style, I guess, this series. Again, Crevasse, Tal'Darim, and Metalopolis. Metalopolis probably being the smallest map, and even that, forced cross positions on NASL maps, or NASL Metalopolis, really facilitates the more macro style map. So even the smallest map is going to be a macro map. I can't wait to see. It's going to be a real testament to how these players can perform at that mid-game, end-game stage. That's where it's going to really come down to, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and get into the matchups for a little bit. For the last matchup, we have Phoenix versus Chef. Phoenix versus Chef, of course, Phoenix from Team IM. He is the aggressive Peruvian player now training in Korea. He's going to be pitted against Chef from Team Liquid. Of course, the hero of Team Liquid. The guy has just so many fans, and rightfully so. Not only is he a great person, he recently did a charity event raising over $30,000. He is also a ridiculously strong Zerg player, of course, from North America. On top of that, he just has an all-around solid style. His style really revolves around him going into the macro game and just letting his hair down, so to speak, as In Control would say, just being able to do whatever he wants. He plays the chess game at that in-game stage, which is so cool to watch. I think we're in for a real treat with these two players facing off. Match number 3, we're going to have Lowly versus Cruncher. Now, Lowly, the Belarus player, he is a Zerg player, of course, new to the North American Star League, although it is already week number 5. I guess he's not so new anymore, but still, he's been on fire, surprising a lot of players, having a very new style. Not so much new, but like a very innovative type of infestor-based style, and I really like that type of play. I think it's going to be very interesting to watch him play against a player that is Cruncher. Now, Cruncher from America, of course, the United States of America, and he's been one of the Protosses that really comes down to decision making. All he does is these decision making based builds. We have seen him stray a little bit away from them and have a lot of combination attacks, so he likes the warp prisms, things like that. We'll see if it's going to be enough to defeat the Belarusian player Lowly in this epic best of 3 series. Match number 2, we are going to have Hero versus White Raw, a PvP go down. Now, Hero is probably the favorite in the entire group. He's looking very strong, hasn't dropped a single best of 3 to anybody in the entire league. Hailing from Team Liquid, and of course originally from Korea. The guy is just so powerful and is really showcasing what Protoss, might be looking at, what we might see Protoss be in the future. White Raw, on the other hand, this guy, of course, we know him for special tactics. He is on his own team, I guess Team White Raw, so he's White Raw. And additionally, the guy loves warp prisms. I'm definitely expecting to see warp prisms. We see it all the time coming out from White Raw. It's going to be tough, though, going up against a player like Hero, who really understands PvP, I think, so well. White Raw is going to have his hands full, but I still feel like it's going to be a great match. To kick us off with things, we have our first match. That is Vibe versus DeMuslim. Vibe, really known for his huge APM, but not so much his decision making. We're going to see if this week around he'll be able to really hone his skills and prepare for DeMuslim. I think as of recent, he has changed over to Team It's Gosu, and they've been performing so well. I think that's a great fit for him. He's been playing so much better, and we're going to see a very, very cool Vibe coming into this match against DeMuslim, who for the most part is on fire. DeMuslim, of course, we know has just been tearing up the scene, not only in NASL, but other tournaments as well. His all-around style has kind of transformed. He used to be a loose cannon. Now he's more of a standard player that throws in that loose cannon stuff here and there, making him such a dangerous player. We'll see if he's able to take out Vibe. I'm looking forward to this starting match. But that being said, I want to first give a couple of announcements before we go into the matches. First off, I wanted to give a huge thank you to our sponsors, Azo and iBuyPower. Azo and iBuyPower are our sponsors. They are monitor and computer sponsors, respectively, and they have been supporting us so much, so please go check them out. Additionally, Kingston HyperX for sponsoring, caught on the tip of my tongue, sponsoring some of the matches to remember, the show matches. So go check those out. And you can do so by purchasing an HD pass and getting the VOD access. You can do that by visiting www.nasl.tv. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. We are facebook.com/NASLTV and twitter.com/NASLTV. Also, a huge thanks to everybody out there that's giving us your feedback. Your feedback is so important to us, and you can send us emails at support@nasl.tv. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into our starting matches. It's going to be Vibe versus the Muslim for our match number 1. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this break.